When you think of handheld gaming, what's the first thing that comes to mind? The phone in your pocket, always at the ready in case boredom rears its ugly head? Or maybe it's the sheer dominance that Nintendo had over the market for decades now. Whatever it is, probably isn't the Sega GameGear. Meaning, you probably never heard of, let alone played, Sailor Moon S. Not helped by the fact that it's a Japanese exclusive. But knowing that, the real question is, what are you missing out on?
So, I'm just gonna level with you all. With as far as gaming has come, it is genuinely difficult to really be able to recommend anything on the Sega GameGear.
Even in the bubble of just Sailor Moon games? How somebody favored Nintendo. It certainly struggles to stand out. But, if nothing else, Sailor Moon S is certainly a novel experience that definitely puts its best foot forward. And that foot would definitely be the music. Opening up with an 8-bit rendition of Moonlight Densetsu of this quality is impressive alone. But the tracks throughout the game are fun and full of energy. The music for the final stage got me pumped every time it started. And the graphics aren't bad either. They're bright and colorful and really show off the advantages that the GameGear had over its monochrome counterpart. The portraits of the scouts look great as well, and the heroes and villains are recognizable. But obviously, we're still talking about GameGear standards here. Detail is still limited, as are the stages, which are very basic with minimal obstacles and enemies. And dishearteningly, despite its minimalist approach, the game still suffers from slowdown, with the worst of it being in the first stage. Though it's not bad enough to be a real issue, especially with such a simple game like this. Sailor Moon S is a bare-bones action side-scroller, similar to games like Altered Beast or Power Rangers on the SNES. You take control of Sailor Moon, or Chibi Moon, as you punch, kick, and platform your way across 5 linear stages, each divided into 3 smaller segments. And along the way, you'll run into what is probably the easiest enemies I've ever faced in any game ever, in every single level. You've got these 2 henchmen, who never even hit me once, this bouncy guy who's kind of a threat, being the fastest anything in this game, though he likes to throw himself off cliffs, so ha. And of course, the most dangerous enemy of all, Kevin McAllister. Though he's upgraded beyond just throwing bricks at our heroes.
Directed.
And speaking of, both Sailor Moon and Chibi Moon play identically, both sporting a basic attack, jump kick, and range special. And if you've collected the special rods, an even stronger special. The only difference between them is that Chibi Moon actually acts as this game's easy mode. Not that it really needed one, this game is super forgiving. With the major downside being that Chibi Moon's run doesn't really get the final boss battle. She also got chipped out of her super form, which is implied. Don't worry, Chibiusa, I've got you covered. Not that it matters much, as the bosses are all stupid easy, just requiring you to walk left or right of the screen to evade anything and everything. The only one that ever really got me was this prick, mid-game. Odds are, if you're actually gonna bite the bullet, it's gonna be during the platforming segments. And not because they're hard or anything, quite the contrary. It's just that the controls are a little stiff, making it very easy to just walk off cliffs. Also, our heroes do this odd snapping thing when they land on platforms. Kinda threw me off a bit. And even if you die, and die, and die, for some reason I thought this would give me a funny animation.
Oh, shell shock.
The game actually has infinite continues, and they don't even make you start at the start of the stage. If you died in stage 1-3, you start back in 1-3, not 1-1. Not to mention, the game actually has passwords between each stages, which is notably good for portable games. And speaking of, another good addition, and the last thing I want to talk about, are the mini-games. Being selectable at the menu, as well as taking place between the levels. Not to mention, there's also a horoscope you can use. Though that suffers from the Y2K bug, so it's pretty worthless nowadays. But the mini-games aren't bad. You've got a face match game, a game where you try to stay between Luna and Artemis without touching them, a hunt for tuxedo masks where the scouts give you clues, and a quiz.
And I probably should have mentioned this right out the gate, but I am actually playing an emulator, because my poor GameGear is broken. It's also not Japanese, and I wanted to play with the fan translations, which is not necessary if you want to play this game, for all you purists out there. But if you want to play the Tuxedo Mask minigame, or, take the quiz, it helps to be able to read it.
That's of course if you're interested at all. Sailor Moon S seems like it was a fine portable game for its time. The visuals are nice, the music is great, and the gameplay is sufficient. But it's really showing its age. The minigames do add a nice bit of charm, and really, who doesn't like Sailor Moon? But overall, even back then, it's nothing special. Even more so when compared to what we've got today, or even just against other Sailor Moon outings. If you want to pick up a physical copy, it'll run you about 30 big ones. But at only 30 minutes of gameplay, I'd recommend just playing the translated ROM instead. And that's only if you're curious. This one is only recommended for retro and Sailor Moon enthusiasts. Everyone else, just give it a pass. Hey everyone, Spammer D here. This is the third Sailor Moon game I've looked at, and I'm thinking about just going through them all. If there are any Sailor Moon games that you're particularly interested in seeing me cover, or any other games for that matter, be sure to leave them in the comments below. And be sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you'll be alerted when they show up. And as always, thanks for watching, and never stop gaming.